There's this quote I've been hearing a lot that goes, "Many a false step was made by standing still." And while it sounds deep, I think it's way easier to say when you're not actively juggling, trying to find a job, or trying to find fulfillment in the one you already have, trying to get into shape, battling loneliness, managing your money right, and fighting the urge to feel like a failure if you don't get rich right now, seeing people who don't look like they're putting in nearly as much work as you gliding through life, and on top of that, trying to find your purpose while life's other issues are still in the background, clapping your cheeks daily. I think that quote is bullshit. I'm about to be 27. If you're anything like me, you've probably felt most of this already. And if you're a little younger, trust me, you're about to find out. Either way, as someone who has lived and still lives with almost all of these, I promise there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So I came up with 5 lessons that make these feelings easier to deal with and that will make you a stronger person. If you stick around in the end, I promise you will leave with at least one piece of wisdom that makes your life a little better. Number one, you're going to get stuck, and that's okay. So tell me if you've been here before. You start something new and you're excited, motivated. You know exactly where you want to go, have an outlook on what the end will be, and how much better off you'll be as a person. But somewhere in the middle, you hit that point where everything slows down and you start asking yourself, is this even worth it anymore? Did I pick the wrong path? Why am I not where I thought I'd be by now? Life in your 20s is basically a rotation of getting stuck, whether it be in relationships, friendships, finances, careers, and even your own identity. But the trick to surviving through it is to realize that this is normal. It's human. And it doesn't mean you're failing if you can't figure it out right away. It's all a part of the process. So how do you beat being stuck? Well, I got 3 ways. Number one, realize you're not broken. You're in the middle of the process. Like I said before, beginnings are exciting and endings are rewarding. The middle is where all the confusion lives, but also where the growing gets done. You have to find a way to fall in love with the process. I remember watching the Childish Gambino show Atlanta, and this one scene always pops into my memory when I'm feeling stuck.
I just keep losing. People just supposed to lose.
Resistance is a symptom of the way things are, not the way things necessarily should be. Actual victory belongs to things that simply do not see failure. Let the path push you like a broken branch in a river's current.
Don't feel like you're losing because you're in a rut. The rut is only there as a skill check to see if you really want that happy ending. Don't see losses, see lessons. Don't see failures, see foundations to your future. This type of perspective change actually goes into my second point, which is sometimes you have to add something to yourself that wasn't there before to get over the hump. Personally, I picked up some self-help books. Now, I'm not a reader at all. The last book I read before the ones that I'm reading now were in ninth grade in 2014. But when I started looking at books like Atomic Habits and The Courage to Be Disliked, I started implementing changes in my process that helped me change my perspective on being stuck. Things like gratitude practice. For example, saying I get to instead of I have to. I also started adding positive cues in my environment to enhance my progress and remove the bad cues that would keep me stuck stressing. Getting off my phone and having more human interactions to bounce my problems off of and hold me accountable for when I get stuck or slip up. Focusing on each individual step instead of the whole staircase so I don't put more pressure on myself than the situation actually calls for. And lastly, I overthink, so I was writing down potential hurdles I might face when trying to move forward so that when I do face them, I'll know how to handle them. And that one actually helped me a lot more than I thought it would. My third way was to start asking myself some real questions. What actually changed in the process? Have my goals shifted? Did the purpose change or did I? I feel like a lot of times the pressure that we feel is made up in our heads, but if we take the time to stop, look around and listen, there's no one actually screaming at us. It's only us and nothing has actually changed. It's still the same goal and the purpose of you doing this did not change. And even if it did, that's fine too. Just don't give up. So for example, all my life I wanted to be a lawyer, then Supreme Court justice. But during internships, I kept falling asleep in the courtrooms. So I started asking myself, did my purpose change or did I change? I realized that what I wanted when I was younger did not align to what I wanted now. And I had to pivot in order to still have purpose in my life. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, but I never stopped moving forward until I found something that I actually cared about doing, which is talking to you guys on YouTube. So with that in mind, realize that you're still on the right path to make your desires a reality. You're just in the thick of it for now. And the more you keep changing your perspectives and adding skills to your arsenal and asking yourself the real questions while you're going through it, the better you'll feel once you finally achieve what you wanted. And I got bonus tips too. Go back to what brought you to the dance, your past experiences, your old dreams, your original fire. Sometimes the answers are already in your mind and you just forgot where you put them. And yes, it does sound like a lot, but just doing at least one of these actions every day will actually get you unstuck a lot sooner than you think. And remember that everything worth having is hard, and being stuck just means that you're that much closer to what you want. My second life lesson, and honestly, this one might be the most important: don't try to keep up with the Joneses. AKA, don't spend all your money all the time. Throughout my 20s, I had to figure this one out the hard way. And I want to be honest with you guys for a second, so you know I'm just not one of those people that's saying it because it sounds good. Currently, I'm living with about $125,000 worth of debt between credit cards, car payments, and student loans. It fucking sucks. So if you don't take anything else away from this video, please listen to me now. I know the saying you only live once is true, and you don't want to miss out on life experiences because of a paywall. However, you will end up spending ridiculous amounts of money. Then you will look around your room and not remember where a single one of those dollars went, but you will know that you have to pay it all back with interest on top of all of your other mandatory life bills. I cannot say this enough. The mental stress of having to come up with that money every month, and no matter how many on-time payments you make, it won't go down or go away, will make you want to unalive yourself. I'm just being real with you. This is a message I got on my credit card statement a few years back. It said if I only pay the minimum payment, I would pay off the debt in 107 years. Nigga, you've probably heard this a million times, but let me say it one more time. Be financially responsible. You don't know how many people in their 20s tell me they are thinking about or have already filed for bankruptcy. They said, and I'm guilty of a lot of these too, they went to every concert, every event, balled out every Christmas, bought expensive cars, took trips out of town, financed life through Afterpay, Klarna, Zip, Affirm, basically had more installment plans than they had friends, and never said no to anything, even when their bank accounts were emptier than Jeff Bezos' soul. And for what? To look like they were doing great while quietly digging themselves into a hole. And at the end of the day, they all had the same exact thing to say: I wish I never spent the money. My advice to you, man, two things. Number one, cash only. If you have to buy something that's not an essential, like a fridge or a house or a car, asterisk by car, pay for it in cash. You will thank me later. And number two, if you must spend money on credit card, stay under 20% of the full value of the credit card. You should be able to pay off the full balance anytime. Altogether, my credit card bills and car payments make up about $1,800 a month. Imagine what you can do with an extra $1,800 a month in cash. Learn from myself and countless others' mistakes. Don't fall into the credit trap. You're better off using that money to create a savings account and buying something that's going to make you money while you sleep. Bottom line, there's always going to be something to spend your money on. Today, tomorrow, whenever. But by taking the time to figure out if that trip, car, concert, or whatever is worth your pockets being pulled off of your pants for the next century, you will save yourself thousands and the mental anguish of walking with the succubus of debt. The quickest way to get rich is to not spend your money. My third life lesson is health is wealth. Seriously. When you're young, you think you're invincible. You don't give two thoughts about being hurt, and the pain never stays with you long. I mean, it's just how it is. And then one day you wake up and your left wrist is kind of stiff, or your elbows feel funny, and it hasn't stopped aching for 6 months. After a while, they start to take a toll on you. Hey, if you want to stay in shape easily, these are the tips that I found that help me. Stretch. That covers like half your issues before they even start. I promise. It's that simple. Number two, drink water. A lot of times when I thought I had a health crisis in my 20s, it turns out I was just dehydrated and I was stuck with the medical bill. So just drink water, at least 4 bottles a day. Number three, realize that you cannot outwork a bad diet at the gym. And with that being said, please eat real food and add at least one vegetable to every meal. Do some type of exercise every day. No matter how big or small, do something that keeps your body using the food that you just ate instead of storing its fat. And last, sleep like it is your job. The grind for success in anything is necessary, but sleep is your superpower. And if you neglect it, you're gonna run into more problems than just being tired. I did a combination of these things and lost 10 pounds in 10 days. I'm telling you, it is a lot simpler than they are making it online. A healthy body gives you a healthy mind, and a healthy mind gives you a real shot at the life you want. You see this picture of Atlas? That's not you. You aren't meant to bear the weight of the world on your own. I know in your teens and 20s, sometimes it feels like no one understands you and you have to disappear, grind, and come back better. But that way of living isn't viable to success in anything. If you have that mindset, the only new things you'll be achieving is anxiety, self-doubt, and a mental breakdown at 2 a.m. on Wednesday. Trust me, I tried doing the grind alone thing with 2 other YouTube channels. I made videos, sure, but every upload felt like a battle against myself. And even huge creators like Mr. Beast and MKBHD talk about this. The moment they found a community of like-minded people who could support them and share in the burden of growth with them, that's when they actually started enjoying the process and it became fun. Everything in life is funner with people anyway, so why wouldn't growth be? Find a community. Just make sure it's not with people who want to blow up schools or harass Target employees for Magic the Gathering cards. My last life lesson to you is this. Practice makes perfect and failure is required. Your 20s are for learning, for failing, for trying 10 things before figuring out one that actually works. You have to be okay with being bad at something before you get good at it. Set small goals, write things down, get organized, use your failures as stepping stones, and give yourself grace and patience. One of the life lessons that I had to learn the hard way is patience. You are not going to get everything right away. And even if you think it's worth it, 9 times out of 10, it's not. Save yourself the trouble of the stress and save yourself the trouble of trying and failing when it comes to trying to rush the process. You just can't. It'll fall in your lap if it's meant to be, and if it's not, it's okay. There's something else better. I promise. Life and death are in the power of the tongue. If you speak negativity over your life will follow it. You speak growth, you speak progress, you speak patience, and you will start to see things change. And above all, start doing something. In almost every single one of the books I read, they each had a variant of this key principle. It's called the do something principle. You know, it usually goes inspiration, motivation, action, or motivation, inspiration, action. But in reality, it's action, inspiration, motivation. Action will beat your anxiety every time. Literally something small. You just have to start. Bonus tip for you all, faith and perspective. Don't give up. Like I said before, use your previous experience as stepping stones. Look at the future like a bucket list too. What do you actually want? What are you willing to try? Sometimes you gotta jump out of the window, and remember this, God hasn't left you before and he won't now. A Bible verse that always stuck with me in my 20s was, "And let us not be wearying in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not." Even if you're not religious, you believe in something. And at the very least, you believe you're smart enough to be watching this video. So take this wisdom with you. Remember all those times when you were a kid where you thought, this test is too hard, there's no way I'm surviving that ass whooping my mom about to give me when I get home, and I can't win in this game, but then you pass the test. You survive the beatdown and you learn how to win the game. This is the same thing, only now you have the power to decide how long this part is going to take. Hold on to faith. Hold on to hope and keep going. So there's 5 life lessons I wish I knew before I came into my 20s. Hopefully some of these stories helped you out and you can find some type of wisdom from them. And honestly, congrats. Just looking for the answers, you're already becoming a better version of yourself. If you enjoy this, hit the like, comment which part hit the hardest for you, and subscribe for more videos about navigating your life in your 20s. And leave me some comments about what you had to do to navigate your 20s, whether it was mentally, financially, spiritually, everything in between. Remember, you got this. Have a good one.